What's up, friends and family of YouTube? Pastor Bob. Well, what's on the breaking list today of guitars? Well, my last guitar was a Firefly. And a friend of mine said, well, when you buy a Firefly, you got to do all that work and you got to get it all, to your specs. And by the time you get done, you probably got, $900, $800 into it. Is it worth it? Well, I say it like this. Once it's done, it's great. Great second guitar if you're touring or you're out doing gigs. Or, if you did a couple of them, it's still a lot cheaper. When you're a young, aspiring musician and you're on the road and you don't have a whole lot of money, I mean, it's a great way of going about it. It's flashy, looks good, it's stable. I mean, people's minds, they roam in circles. And I try to keep people grounded when they ask me questions. He says, well, what do you think about Gibsons? I said, well, I own a few. He says, well, maybe sometime you can do a video. Let me see them. I said, well, maybe I'll do one next week or so. So here it is, next week. So this video here is mostly for John because he wanted to see something cool. So here it is. This is my 2018 Les Paul Classic Special Order. Yeah. Most of these came with a AA top. This one here has a AAA top. As you can see. So it has a AAA top, P90. P90's in there. All the other appointments that you would have on a Les Paul. If you look, this has a ebony fingerboard on it. Not a rosewood. Well, it's ebony. And you can tell what it is by the Gibson logo. You'll see in your high-end Gibsons, once you start getting up there, this will be mother of pearl. That's how you can tell when you're starting to get back up into the 2, 3, 4,000 and up models. You'll start to see that. But yeah, it's just a beautiful guitar. And what do I think of it? Oh, I think it has a specific sound. I think that it plays well. I had to set it up. And the factory was okay, but I had to set it up my way, and that's just the way it is with every guitar that I purchase. And I think a lot of people, as they grow older and they grow into guitars and they play longer, they figure that out. There's a certain way of setting it up the way they like it. Some people like, higher action. Some people like lower action. Some people like, medium frets. Some people like medium jumbo. Some people like jumbo. I mean, it's all over the place. So, for young guys that are watching this, find your love. Don't worry about the name on the headstock. When you get into buying guitars on this level, this one or my Paul Reed Smiths or stuff like that, those are collector grade guitars. Those are guitars that hold value, and you buy them not just for the playability, but you buy them for the investment portion, because they will always hold their value, no matter what. When you buy an inexpensive guitar, now if you're buying an inexpensive guitar that's made well, right, and you can fix a lot of the appointments on it, and hot rod it, and put some really nice parts in it, and still be within means, and do it over time if you want. You can do that over time. That's great. You got a great machine that you built, that you put your, blood, sweat, and tears in, your hard-earned money. That's fine and dandy. There's nothing wrong with that. Here's where the problem comes in. I don't know if I can call it a problem or situation. When a brand name, any name, hasn't made themselves a name for long enough, and they haven't proved to the world and the market that they're worth more than what somebody paid for them, and people know what the original prices are, and there's no rarity to them, they're never going to grow in value the same as something like this. Why is that? Well, Gibson's been making guitars for, a long, long time. We're talking over 100 years. So, they're there. So when you're talking about a Gibson or a Heritage or even a Paul Reed Smith, people say, oh, well, they only started back in the 80s. Okay, but there's a difference. It's about the people that went there. It's about the people that taught Paul Reed and his crew how to build guitars. When you got a master like McCarty and other guys who have joined in to help him and teach him and, put him underneath their wing and show him the ropes, you made something of yourself. Because it takes listening to them older guys and learning, gaining wisdom along the way, and then doing what you need to do along the way and keep aspiring to be better and growing. And then you create a name for yourself, like Paul Reed Smith did. Makes excellent guitars, absolutely. I know I have a really expensive one over there in the corner. So, when you're talking about, your Gibsons and your Guilds and your Paul Reed Smiths and your Fenders, look, they hold their value, guys. They're always valuable. Do I tell you to run right out and buy one? No, but you can save up if you're patient. You don't put your knickers in a knot, as they say, and you save up a little bit, throw a few extra bucks in the can, and then eventually you buy the real deal. Is there a difference? Let me tell you. You can always be a copycat and you can get close, but you can't never be the real deal. And that's just it. Either you buy the real deal or you don't buy the real deal. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean that, Gibson and Fender and Guild and Paul Reed Smith and Martin and, all these other people, Taylor, all of them can have bad days. All of them can have bad batches of glue causing separations, bad batches of truss rods. I mean, there's all kinds of things that can go wrong. It doesn't matter. What matters is that when you purchase a guitar and you're investing in it like this one, you know what you're buying and that you want to be happy with it. Now, when you custom order something, and you have something made for you, well, then you get the picture, right? Got to be worth $1,000 itself. Well, who did the setup? I don't know. But it's real, right? It's printed on a specific type of paper. You get all the little swag with it. And the wonderful thing about this, you're probably looking at it and going, man, something different. That's right. I have the pick guard. I just never put it on. Because quite frankly, if it doesn't come with one on it, why ruin the beauty of the wood, right? Anyways, I got off on my gander, but I just want to, for the young guys, not the old guys, but, the young guys are just getting into it. Look, guys, there's nothing wrong with buying, Chinese copies of LPs when you're just getting started. Or a lower cost to get into it, to start playing. The thing is that you get something that you can play and you can enjoy, right? And that guitar becomes something special to you. Now, maybe later on in life, you'll get something even more special, you know? And you can save for it. You save for it every week, every month. Save up. It might take you 4, 5, 6 years to get something. But when you get it, you get what you want. It's a bad habit, right? I mean, look, I'm telling you. Whew, buying guitars and loving guitars is just so sinful. Oh, God forgives me when I get to heaven. And then the time that you put into it, you know? The craftsmanship. I mean, look at that back. Oh, my God. Huh? Beautiful, huh? Beautiful neck. You know, top grade stuff, guys. You know, I mean, but this is an investment, you know. It'll always be worth a few $1,000s. Always. Always. And it's unique. And what makes it even more unique is this is the only one. Now, there might be others that are made. There might be others that have a similar color. But all guitars are different. No two guitars are exactly the same. So anything that you get is going to be special. And it don't matter whether it's Chinese or American or Japanese or Indonesian. They're all different. They may be made in whatever places they're made, but everything is different. Nothing is exactly the same. It can't be. It's impossible. But what I do tell people is when you're going to buy something on this level, and you're going to buy something that's investment grade, go somewhere and play it. Unless you absolutely trust somebody that you're buying something over the internet, go and buy something local. Play it. Because there's nothing worse than getting something in. It sucks, right? Then you got to pack it all back up. You got to send it back. Now you got to hope to get another one, right? And you got to hope that that one's going to be better than the last one. And then it's like a time-consuming thing. And if you build something, right, like this one, if you build it, you know, it's built specifically a specific way, you know, and you're stuck with it. You know, I mean, pretty much, unless they didn't do it the way that you actually wanted it. But that's the difference. And you pay for that to be done. So, you know, take your time. Don't never be in a rush. There's no rush to go out and buy one of these pieces of art. You know, buy something that you can hammer on and not feel bad. Now, when you become an aspiring musician and you get out there in the mainstream and you know you're looking for something that's dependable and rugged and sturdy, and well, you know, most traveling musicians don't have one guitar. They usually have, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 guitars. That's just how musicians are. Well, then you can figure out where you want to be, whether it's Gibson or Fender or whoever, you know. Ibanez, Guild makes great guitars. Actually, one of my favorite guitar is a Guild Bluesbird, made right here in Westerly, Rhode Island. One of the very last ones off the line. And that is a fact, because I ordered it that way. Because I knew that they were going out of business. My friend who I worked for and owned a music store, I said, I gotta have one of the last ones. Can you get me one? He said, I'll make sure that I get you one, Bob. Don't worry about it. So I have one. And there's a detrimental story that goes behind that, but I'll tell you some other time. Anyways, guys, this is my Gibson Les Paul. One of them, anyway. One of 4 or 5, I guess I got. But this one here is kind of special. It's a little different than all of the other ones. The appointments are different. So I enjoy it. Anyways, take care. God bless. We'll talk to you later. Pastor Bob. And I'm out of here, see ya.